Still looking for our freedom today. Would you agree with that? Some of us are still looking for our freedom today. I wanted to just take a moment and thank Eureka for her leadership. She's a very humble sister, but she's a very powerful sister. Let's give Eureka a big hand because she deserves it. We can't mention Eureka and not mention ADACI at the same time. So we're going to give ADACI this incredible morning. Thank you for African Diaspora Ancestral Commemoration Institute, ADACI. We're celebrating today our Freedom Crossing commemorative bronze plaque, and thank you to Antoine, Eureka, and so many others from the community. It's here. It's been here for about 3 years, I believe. And guess what? It's going to be here for a long time. In fact, at some point in the future, our children will be standing here commemorating the day. So it's permanent, and we want to thank you for your leadership on that. So you all know 150 years ago, folks came from Virginia, came from D.C. in search of their freedom using what we call the Emancipation Proclamation. So they came here, they came along this way, went across the bridge that we now call 11th Street Bridge, and we call Freedom's Crossing a long time ago, and that's why we named the plaque Freedom's Crossing. I wanted to certainly take a moment just to recognize some of our ancestors who aren't here today, obviously, but they're here in spirit. They're looking at us and they're happy about what they're seeing. I want to start off by recognizing our brother Melvin Deal, Baba Deal. Right? And we can't recognize him without recognizing our brother Askia Muhammad. And then from a family affair, we have Calvin and Wilhelmina Roloff. And then more recently, we used to stand on a place called Good Hope Road. But the name has changed since last year. This is Marion Barry Avenue. And the other ancestors who have come before us, who are so proud that we are out here standing for them and for their values. We also will hear from other leaders in the community. C.R. Gibbs will be here shortly. We know what he brings to the table. Antoine is going to give his spiel in a moment. I told him I'm going to set it up, but he's going to have to knock a home run. He tries to act like he's quiet, but he ain't quiet. That brother got a lot of fire in him, and I'll tell you why I know this, because when we went to Antoine 3 years ago about setting up this plaque, normally would have taken 2 or 3 years just to get this done. This brother said he's going to do it the black way. He did it his way, and we got it done in about 2 months. So this is powerful. We certainly want to recognize our brothers and sisters from Union Temple, Reverend Willie Wilson and his family, and all that they have done to support ADACI throughout the years. I want to take just a quick note about a little company here called Zulu Global Enterprise. That's my little small business, but I do big work. And so, we are a B2B matchmaking company. Just got a new contract from South. Happy about that. I'll be at dinner next time, Antoine. So we're here in the community, Ward 8 base, and we came on board with this project because we're really willing to promote and preserve our people's heritage by telling our stories. Because if we don't tell the stories, nobody's going to tell our story. They'll tell somebody else's story. This is a bronze plaque that will forever tell our stories. And what we need to do, our challenge, and we said this last, we need to start booking tours here, right? We need to start bringing our children here. We need to start making sure that schools bring their students here, because this is the history that we put for them to remember forever and forever. Especially in these times, my brothers and sisters, when so many challenges are facing our community. I don't have to go into a lot of detail about what's happening with our young people in the streets. We know. But we also know that part of that can be switched very quickly if we as black folks get our families together, take control of our families, teach the values that our ancestors had, particularly those who walked those miles to get here to get their freedom. We can turn this around. So this is an important date for us, for our history, and for our future. I want to close by just saying again how proud I am to stand with Antoine, stand with Eureka, and stand with ADACI, because we did this, right? We did this together. And I'll tell you right now, you're going to see some more of these throughout the city. In fact, we're working now with the Clara House right up the street, and hopefully we'll have a plaque commemorating Mr. If It Is to Be, It's Up to Me. Do y'all know who that is? Calvin Rollard. So we're gonna put a plaque up for Calvin Rollard. And then some of you may recall back in the day, I was with a group called Concerned Black Men. And we're going to put a plaque up in the Thurgood Marshall Center commemorating Concerned Black Men. So stay on the lookout, and we're going to keep this thing moving because we got so many people whose story we have to tell, and we're going to tell our story. So having said that, I just want to thank God for the day, for the blessing, for all of us who've come out. And let's keep this party going, brothers and sisters, because it's not over yet. Thank you, my brother. Okay, Antoine. You at the home plate now, brothers. Knock it home.
How y'all doing today? Come on, how y'all doing today? And you know, I want to honor God first and foremost always. I mean, I am nothing without Him, and with Him I can do all things. And I make sure that I always give God glory for this. I also want to make sure, if you were in this picture, can you come up real quick? If you were in this picture? Who else was in this picture? If you were in this picture, can y'all really give them a hand clap for this? These are history makers. History makers. People that decided to say, if you go all the way back from this picture, it says, from Africa. From where we came from, through the slave houses. And I say this all the time about people. Do you understand, the people that are here connected to our ancestors, how strong you had to be to go from here to here, through the passage, through 100 million people died during that period of time? Yet these folks have decided to say, I'm going to make history to pay back homage to those people who gave up their lives so that we could be here and reconnect back to our ancestors. So can we give them a hand clap for being able to celebrate and make history for what we're able to do? The overall goal of this, when we decided to do this and we got together, was really about how do we make sure that we don't forget. And that's the importance of what he talked about, is at the end of the day, there was a little girl that I stopped. And the little girl started, and it was funny, she actually does this at her home. So she started to explain what was happening to me. That overjoyed me, and I was like, you know, God, you just are glorified here. But it's a sad thing that our children don't know this story. Because when we talk to our children about it, that was the importance of making sure that we come by, bring our kids by, walk every day and say, you understand that we weren't always slaves. You understand that we come from a royal place. You understand that we now are recapturing our royal place and where we should be. But they need to understand they come from a royal priesthood, a great nation, understanding who they are. And I think we got to make sure we remind ourselves of that from a unity perspective. Because if you understand what's happening right now, they're trying to tear out every program that's associated with being black. We are fighting those programs one at a time. On the Hill, at the White House, we're doing these things because at the end of the day, we have to make sure collectively we understand that we unify with ourselves, reaching back to the ancestors, moving forward towards what we're able to do together. If we try to do this alone, we're going to be a lonely walk. If we try to do this together and being able to work together from a perspective of making sure if somebody needs help, reach out to them. But make sure, remind them of who they are, remind them of what they can do, and remind them that we in unity, we can do everything. Amen? Amen.
Sure, yes. And that was Baba Gibbs.
Beautiful African people, how y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? I see you, Jay, son. You know, it's been
it's been a journey. It's been definitely been a spiritual journey, being out here, advocating for the community. Along the way, I will tell you that many of the people who I've learned from have now transitioned to the realm of the ancestors to the Egungun. I remember Baba doing fundraisers for Baba Sekou Odenga, one of the elders that helped to liberate Asada Shakur, and now he's an ancestor. Not only that, there are a lot of other sisters and brothers who paved the way for us, whose names that we will never know, but that have for sure have been people who have helped to educate me to understand that the fight for self-determination, self-respect, and self-defense of the Black community is first and foremost above anything else, above our egos, above all of those things. And I remember just being in the room, being somebody who was just sitting there learning Baba Lafayette. Then I kind of got a little bit up on the stature, and I was able to help clean the toilets and sweep. Then I moved a little bit up on the totem pole. Then I was able to go pick somebody up from the airport. Then I moved up a little bit higher, and they let me help plan the program. Then they messed around and let me speak at some point, and do all of these different experiences and rites of passage to becoming. Now I'm no longer the younger person in the room now, which is a completely different feeling. You know, you go into these spaces and you 40 years old, but you still in the youth in some of these spaces. But it's a beautiful experience, it's a beautiful thing, and I would love to see more of my sisters and brothers be able to have this experience, because the Black freedom movement is not something that we just read about, you know, or we watch during February when we see Eyes on the Prize come on PBS. It's an actual living movement that's still here. And so when I look out and I see my sisters and brothers in the community, I see what Marcus Garvey talked about, right? I see what Kwame Ture was organizing around. I see what Coretta Scott King and Betty Shabazz and Asada Shakur are organizing and pushing for, and our time is now. We gotta seize the moment. What's at stake every day that we come out is the liberation of our people. Whether we're in Brazil, Ghana, or Southeast DC, we still have to have our human rights organized for and fought for every day. Access to clean water, access to good maternal health care is not something that's just a local issue. This is a global issue for us as African people. And so we must think globally and act locally. And we can't do that unless we honor the folks who came before us and honor our ancestors. So thank you for the opportunity to come out here and share with you all. I greatly appreciate it. One aim, one God, one destiny.
Welcome, Brother Easy Street, who is going to be hosting our second program with Dr. C.R. Gibbs, a historian who's well known in Washington, D.C., who's made this the foundation for this Black possible. We're going to hear more about history as we proceed to the next of the program. So. much for all the libations. So now we are going to proceed to the second half of the program. And oh, here comes, listen, we can, welcome